All right, you guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to Virtual Chair Yoga. So, today we're going to start by just settling back into your chair. You can kind of slouch down a little bit. Just get comfortable, making sure that your neck can be supported by that back arch of the chair. You can let your arms rest down by your sides. Close your eyes. Deepen your breath. You can also rest your hands on your belly if that feels good. You can extend your feet out long in front of you. Just listen to the sound of your breath. Create that oceanic, raspy noise that swirls around in between your ears, but it starts in your throat. Let each breath move as almost like a little broom that's sweeping all the clutter of your mind, thoughts, agendas, plans into the corner just for the time being. Keep your eyes closed and stay with that sound. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out of your nose. You know, the word yoga means union. It can also be translated to the word yolk, like an egg yolk. And that's the part of the egg that keeps the rest of the egg together. So you can think of your breath like the process of your body, mind, spirit, whatever you want to call it, joining in unison, melding together to become one. As you breathe here, scan your body from the inside, from the crown of your head all the way down to the soles of your feet, and soften each little nook and cranny in between. So the muscles in your face naturally, at least mine, they tighten up the space between the eyebrows, cheeks, all the things in the mouth, tongue. Soften it all. Let your shoulders slide down away from your ears. You're cultivating this normalization of softness in your body. Maybe we can make a collective intention here to be present with your breath for the next 50 minutes. Notice when your mind starts to wander. Maybe you're making a grocery list or planning what you're going to eat next, and that's totally okay. But whenever you notice that, you can come back to your breath. Always, throughout your practice, remember to come back to your breath. And start to wiggle your toes. Slowly walk your feet in so that your feet are flat. You can bring your hands down onto the sides of your chair to slowly press yourself to neutral. You want to make sure that you're scooted half forward on the chair so that your feet are flat. Awesome. Take a breath in, sweep your arms out wide and up high. On the exhale, pull your hands down over your heart. Again, inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, pull the hands down over your heart. One more time, breathe in. This time there's a change. Interlace your fingers up above and roll your palms open to the sky. So you want your fingers to be connected, like you're holding your own hand, and then roll the palms up to the sky. Stretch really tall like a noodle. Pull your lower belly muscles in and breathe deeply. You can stick your sitting bones out behind you and puff up your heart to turn this into a slight back bend. And remember, it's not about how deep or how exaggerated your motions are. It's about the intention on the inside. So breathe from there. As you exhale, come back up to neutral. Float the hands down. Hands come on tops of the thighs here. Gonna breathe in, shrug your shoulders up by your ears. Scrunch everything. As you exhale, drop them down. Inhale, shrug them up. Exhale, drop. Again, shrug them up. And drop them. Shrug them up. Drop them down. Shrug them up. Drop them down. Got 3 more. Shrug them up. Drop them down. 2 more. Shrug. Drop. Last one. Shrug them up. Squeeze and pause. Exhale, drop. Nice. Hands stay on tops of the thighs. You're going to tuck your head forward and roll your head around in circles. Moving slowly. Breathe deeply here, which can be a challenge, especially on some parts of the circle. It can feel a little constricting, especially the back half of the circle for me. So if you notice something similar like that, you want to pause in those spots and practice the breath. Just really savoring each turn of the head here. So much tension we keep in our shoulders unintentionally, but it just happens. So as often as you can, remember to soften. And your breath is one of the most helpful tools in accomplishing that. The next time your head is tilted forward, go ahead and change directions. And just how tension builds up naturally. Tension isn't a bad thing. It's actually what keeps our bodies held together. If we didn't have tension in the joints and in our muscles, if you turned your head one direction, it would just roll right off of your body. So all things to a certain extent are not always bad for us, but when the natural instinct is for the body to tense, we have to retrain the body to learn how to soften. And it takes practice. Take one more circle around. So you can go on and remove any expectations you have on yourself, needing to do your yoga a certain way or make it look a certain way, or notice how much you can or can't do. So that's not the point of it at all. It's just practice. Take a breath in, sweep your arms out wide and up high. On the exhale, lower your left hand down. Got a side bend. Inhale, reach up through your right fingertips. Exhale, side bend to the left. And you want to stay neutral so that your shoulders are still stacked over your hips and your feet are still flat on the ground. So breathe into the whole right side of your body. You can see this candy cane shape going on here. Breathe in, pull your lower belly muscles in. On the exhale, come up to neutral. Right hand meets the left thigh or knee. Inhale, sit up tall. We've got a twist. Exhale, twist. Just a quarter of a turn to the back left corner. Even though it's just a quarter of the turn, the intention is moving in the direction of the back left corner. You can visualize here your spine is twisted like a spiral staircase, for example. So keep that integration in the core center, pulling your lower belly muscles in, sitting up tall. Take an inhale here. Again, lift your left arm all the way up and cross it up and over to find the right thigh or knee. Got this bound cat variation with the arms crossed like an X in front of you and hands are resting on the legs on whatever you can reach. So take a breath in here. You're going to almost find cow pose. So you're lifting your chin, stick your butt out, puff up your heart. On the exhale, tuck your tailbone and round your spine like a Halloween cat. Pausing here. And this is definitely a more restricted pose in terms of space for breathing. So pull the lower belly muscles in. Just practice that. Practice your breath in a compromised pose like this. Breathe deeply. On your next breath, come up to neutral spine. Beautiful. Gonna heel toe your feet wide. You can keep your hands on your thighs here, and we're gonna come into a forward fold. Actually, bring your hands to your hips. You're gonna fold forward halfway, and then you can walk your hands down your legs. So you can walk your hands down to the ankles or your shins. If you can make it down to the floor, by all means, go for it. Breathing in whatever space you are. And if your hands are hovering up off of the ground, you want to make sure to bring your hands onto your shins or onto the ankles because it allows your body that support to be able to ease into the pose. When we are trying to get down further and our body's not quite there yet, it creates more tension, and that's not what we want. So practice the action of sticking your sitting bones out behind you. Envision that triangle point of your tailbone. That's called your sacrum, and it looks like an arrow. And imagine that it's pointing straight towards the back of the room. Slowly walk your hands back to your legs. You can walk the hands up to the knees. Straighten your arms to press yourself up. Heel toe the feet together towards the center. Take a breath in, sweep your arms out and up. On the exhale, lower your right hand down. Inhale, reach up through the left fingertips. Exhale, side bend to the right. And you notice how my hand is in a blade shape. It's not sprawled out. It's not limp. It's in a blade shape to keep the intention. The energy is going this way to the right side of the room. Keeping your shoulders broad, your chest space broad. You don't want to close and curl like this. It can just limit the ability to be able to breathe deeper. So you want to keep the broadness of the chest if you can, and that might limit your range of motion. That's okay. Breathe into the left side body here. Feel the ribs expand. Envision like there are rays of sunlight shining through the rib cage. Breathe in here. On the exhale, come back up to neutral. Left hand meets the right thigh. Sit up tall. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the back right corner of the room. But remember, it's just a little quarter turn of your shoulders, and your gaze stays in line with where your shoulders are turning as well. Breathe into your twist. Keep the integration in your core center. Pull the lower belly muscles in. Lift your right arm straight up to the sky. We've got that bound cat variation again. Swap it over to find the left thigh. Take a breath in, find cow pose, lift your chin, stick your sitting bones out behind you and broaden your heart. Breathe in. On the exhale, tuck your tailbone and round your spine like a Halloween cat. And it's almost like an abdominal crunch. Really, that is what this is. The front line of the body is in what's called flexion. So we're curling in, pull the lower belly muscles in, and that will help create more space for your breath to happen. Breathing deeply here. Take one more breath in. On the exhale, come up to a neutral spine. Nice. You're going to heel toe your feet a little bit wider. So we're going to stir the pot. I'm going to bring my hands on to the knees or closer to the knees. And you're going to inhale, pull your heart through the center, and then swoop over to the left and finish the circle. Going towards the back half, over to the right, just painting big circles with your upper body. Noticing that oceanic sound of your breath happening in your throat. And if it's become a little far away or you can't hear it or it's too faint to notice, bring some volume. So that you can hear it. Because your breath is a powerful tool. It is your first source of heat. It's your first source of core work. So without even moving, you're strengthening your core and abdominals from the inside. And it's also your most accessible tool to focus. Gives the brain something tangible to hold on to so that when the mind wanders, it's easy to return. All right, circle around the other direction. Breathing deeply. Got a couple more circles here. Maybe you can tell this is my favorite one. Got one more circle around. Staying with that oceanic sound of breath. All right, we can come back to a neutral position. You can heel toe your feet together a little bit closer. Take a breath in, sweep your arms out wide and up high. Interlace the hands overhead again. Roll the palms up to the sky and stretch yourself really tall like a noodle. Pull your lower belly muscles in and maybe lift your gaze if that feels good. Of course, never moving in ways that are creating pinching or pain. And this is where we go into the dialogue of the soft edge. Because the soft edge is that line that dances between comfort and discomfort. Something can be uncomfortable and not painful. And so your body will always tell you when something is not for you. Take a breath in here. On the exhale, float your hands down. We're going to go ahead and stand and make our way to the back of the chair. So you can stand up and walk around. I'm going to turn mine so that you can see me and what I'm doing. All right, nice. So we're going to stretch the forearms first before we get to the chair. So you can take your left arm, extend it right out in front of you like you're holding up a stop to somebody, and then take your right hand and press your fingertips on the left hand back, peel them back towards your body. That's a good place. You want to make sure that your arm isn't too high up or too low down. You want to keep it in a neutral spot going straight out from your shoulder. This is a great place too to practice spreading your toes, maybe lifting the middle three. I know we've been working on our relationship with the toes, getting them to talk back to us, and it takes some time. So really any standing position really is a great time to practice spreading the toes. All right, now you're going to take that same hand, the left hand, flip the fingertips to face down, and then take your right hand, press the back of your left hand towards your body. That helps to stretch the top of the forearm. Breathe deeply. And make sure that your shoulders aren't crowding up by your ears. If they are, let them sink down. Moving the shoulders away from the ears for retraining the body to remember softness is okay. We don't always have to be tense and holding on. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, you're just going to float that left hand down, give it a shake. Was holding out there for a minute. And then you're going to take your right arm, press it forward like you're holding out that stop sign to somebody. Take your left hand, press your right fingertips back towards your body. So you're peeling them back. And it can be easy in these poses that may seem a little boring, but they're really not. It can be easy for the mind to wander in those poses. So it's a good time to practice involving yourself with your breath. How can you be here in this moment? Because remember, the moment that just happened and the moment that's about to happen isn't here yet. We only have the precious now. And the breath is a very helpful reminder to bring you back into that moment. All right, go ahead and turn the right fingertips to face down, and then take your left hand to press the back of the right palm towards you. It's the back of the right hand, not the palm. But you get what I'm saying. Nice. Breathing here for 3. Breathing here for 2. And go ahead and float your hands down. All right, now we've got a forward fold from the back of the chair. Usually we do it sitting down, but we're going to do it from the back of the chair this time. So you're going to want to walk away from your chair so that you're an arm's length away. Bring a bend into your knees. Bring a bend into your knees and make sure that your feet are hips distance apart. So the hips, these pointy headlights here is what I call them. Make sure that your feet are straight down from that. Bring a soft bend into the knees. And then fold forward halfway. That soft bend into the knees is what gives more accessibility to the hips to stick back. Nice. All right. So now I'm totally in the frame. Soft bend into the knees gives the hips more accessibility to stick back. Because notice if I round here and bend, I'm not going to feel anything at all in my hamstrings. So it's the action of sticking the hips back that creates that pulley system to lengthen the hamstrings. So just pause here, breathe, practice pulling your lower belly muscles up and in, because it can be easy to want them to rest on the thighs, and that is also what might be happening, and that's okay. It's about the inside intention of the action of pulling the belly button in anyways. So remember that and breathe from there. Breathing here for 3. Breathing here for 2. On your next breath, slowly straighten your arms, press yourself back up. And now we've got spinal balance. Gonna stand firm to your left foot. Step your right foot back a third of the way. Keep your toe pressing down on the ground. And then extend your left arm by your left ear. The thumb is pointing towards the back of the room. Your bicep is hugging close to your ear. Nice. From there, you're going to keep that soft bend in your left leg. You got the option to lean forward and hover your right foot up off the ground. Just an option. Keeping the toe down is still spinal balance, and it's still a great place to stay. But what you want to remember here in this is the fundamentals. Pull your lower belly muscles in. Helps to keep your back strong, your core solid. And a lot of times we think that the core is just the front situation going on here, but the core wraps all the way around your whole torso. So there are muscles in the back that aid in helping you to breathe deeper. And in this kind of pose, it is definitely wakes those back body muscles up a lot, at least for me. Breathing here for 3. Breathing for 2. All right, go on and float that right foot down. Left hand comes home. Right foot steps home. Good job. All right, take a breath in. Sweep your arms out wide and up high. Exhale, pull the hands down over your heart. Beautiful. Pause there. Bring your hand to your chair, and you're going to turn to face the right or the left, either direction. It doesn't matter, but we're doing squats at the back of the chair. So just turn to face the right for the first side, just to keep it simple. And you want to walk your feet a little bit wider. Your toes facing out, your heels pointing in, but not too exaggerated, of course. You want them to be comfortable. Your hand is on the back of the chair. All right, now you're going to give me some squats. So take a bend, then straighten. Bend your knees, straighten the legs. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. And move with your breath too. Inhale, bend the knees, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, straighten the legs. Got 3 more. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. Good. Got 1 more squat. Bend the knees, and you're going to pause on the down and give me some pulses. Pulsing here for 5. Remember to spread your toes, you guys. It helps so much. Pulsing for 4. Pulsing for 3. Pulsing for 2. Pause on the down. Lift your right heel. Lower it down. Still pulling in from this core center. Lift your left heel. Lower it down. Lift the right. Lower it down. You might be feeling some warmth in the body. Lift the left. Lower it down. 2 more to each side. Lift the right. Lower it down. Lift the left. Lower it down. Last one on each side, y'all. lift the right, lower it down, lift the left, lower it down, pause, maybe lift both. Maybe you can stay for 3, for 2, and let the heels down, straighten the legs, turn the feet back to neutral. All right, good job. Step your left foot back and turn to face the back of your chair. We've got warrior 1. So you're going to stand firm with your right foot behind the right leg of your chair. The left foot takes a third of the way step back, and it's in line with the left leg of the chair. You want to make sure that your feet are offset and not on a tightrope. All right. So now that you're there, you've got your left foot a third of the way step back. You're going to turn your left foot out like the little side of a check mark to 10 o'clock. Beautiful. And then take your hands to your hips, find those little headlights, your hip points, turn them to face the back of your chair, and bring a bend into your right knee. Beautiful. That's a great place to stay. This is warrior 1. You can bring your hands onto your chair and use your chair as leverage to puff up your heart and stick your sitting bones out behind you. You can lift your gaze and breathe. Let the shoulders sink down away from the ears. Breathe deeply. Option to inhale the arms out and up. Breathing here for 3. It's a heart opening pose, y'all. So you want to keep the shoulders broad. The heart is expanding. Your arms are in this V for victory shape. Deep breath in. On the exhale, come back up to neutral. Bring your hands down to the back of your chair. Step your left foot up to meet the right. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep your arms out wide and up high. On the exhale, pull the hands down over your heart. Pause there. Hands come to the back of your chair. We've got spinal balance on the other side this time. So the left foot, you're going to step it so that it's kind of behind the back of the left leg of the chair. And then your right foot is going to step back a third of the way. Bring a bend into your left knee. Oh, we did this side already. My apologies. All right, so we're going to do that all on the other side. So keep your right foot where it is this time. Take your left foot, step it back a third of the way. Keep your toe pressed down into the ground. Bringing your right arm up by your right ear. Bicep is hugging your ear. And your thumb is pointing to the back of the room. So you don't want your palm to face forward like this or to face the side or anything like that. You want your arm to be solid. Your thumb is facing the back of the room. All right, now bring a bend into that right knee. The option to lean forward here. This is a great place to stay with your toes still pressed on the floor. Or you can lean forward and hover your left foot up off of the floor. Another good option to practice spreading the toes. And notice if your hip opens up and you're kind of turning open, you want to dial that outer left hip down to keep the hips on the same plane. Keep those lower belly muscles hugged in. Breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. Last one, deep breath in, y'all. On the exhale, float the toes home. Right hand comes down, left foot steps up to meet the right. Beautiful. All right, we've got a forward fold again. So step back, arms length away from your chair, hands on the back of it. Bring a bend into your knees, stick your hips out, fold forward halfway. And when you have the chair there as support, it gives your body that comfort, that support to be able to ease into it a little bit deeper too. So you can let your head and neck hang and dangle in the center. You can even nod your head yes and nod your head no. And that helps to shake out some of that tension in the shoulders too and the neck area. Breathing here for 3. Breathing here for 2. Checking in with that sound of your breath. Notice the texture of your breath. Is it feeling long and lengthy? Is it feeling maybe a little choppy or a little short? And just intending to breathe a little deeper. Go ahead and inhale, straighten your arms, come back up to neutral. Gonna step forward so that you're closer to the chair. We've got warrior 1. So the left foot is gonna step behind the left leg of the chair. The right foot behind the right leg of the chair takes a third of the way, step back, and your foot is flat. So you're not on the toe. You want your foot to be flat, both feet, making sure that they're offset, not on a tightrope. The right foot turns a third of the way out to 2 o'clock this time. Hands come to the hips and turn to face the back of your chair. Remember to breathe. Bring a bend into your left knee and use your hands on the back of the chair as leverage to push into it. Broaden your heart. Stick your sitting bones out behind you. Shoulders sink down away from the ears. Deep breaths here. Option to inhale the arms out and up. Continuing to soften from the inside. Take a deep breath where you are. On the exhale, come up to neutral. Hands come to the back of your chair and the right foot steps up to meet the left. All right, so this time you're going to turn your shoulder away to the left because we've got some more pulses. So you want to walk your feet a little bit wider, toes turning out, heels facing in. Come into that squat position and just pulse for 5. Pulse for 4. Pulse for 3. Pulse for 2. All right, you're going to pause on the down. Practice lifting that right heel. Lower it down. Still pulling in here. Lift the left heel. Lower it down. Lift the right. Lower it down. Left. Lower. Right. Lower. And left. Lower. Right. And lower. Maybe lift both. Practice this. Maybe you can breathe for 3. Breathe for 2. Float the heels down. Great job. Straighten the legs. Turn the toes so that they are facing forward and your heels are behind them. We're going to do a wide-legged fold from here, which is a little bit different. Bring a soft bend into your knees. Start by sticking your butt out and puffing up your heart. Still, your hand is on the back of that chair. So you're just going to fold forward halfway. You know, I have an old injury in my right leg. It happened earlier this year, but I still feel traces of it. I pulled my psoas muscle, and that is exactly what lives in where the hamstrings are. So anytime I fold forward, I feel it deeply, and it feels great. And we all have our own injuries and history of things that our body has gone through. And so give yourself grace. You know, you're doing a good job, a great job, really. Because showing up to your practice is really the hardest part for many. Go ahead and come back up to neutral, moving slowly, heel toe your feet together, bringing them back closer, and then step your feet together. We're going to sit back down in the chair. Come to a seated position here. We've got pigeon pose. So this is going to be with the left leg first. You're going to create that figure 4 shape with your leg. So your left ankle is crossing over your right knee. And I like to bring my hands to my hips. If your knee is up close to your chest, don't worry. It's okay. Just envision in your mind like there's a fishing weight that's tied to that knee, dragging it down. You don't have to see that happening. It's just about what's happening on the inside. So just the intention is that you're dragging that knee down. Hands come onto your hips, sit up tall. You want to make sure that your right foot is flat on the ground, and as you exhale, fold forward. And your body will tell you where is a good place to stop. You can close your eyes here. Still scanning your body from the inside. And notice any spots where you might be holding on to some tension. And as you exhale, let a little bit of that tension go. Wherever it is, it doesn't matter. Could be in the shoulders, could be in the backs of your knees, could be in your ankles. Over time, as you're sitting in this pose, the chest might drop down closer towards that left shin. And that just is something that happens over time. With each breath, you soften a little bit more, deepening into the pose. This is a great place, this practice, to practice listening to my voice without looking at my body. And just letting my voice guide you. And trust that you can follow, because you can. Breathe in, maybe deepen in a little bit more. As you exhale, press yourself up to a neutral place. All right, you're gonna want to bring your left foot a little bit closer. Take your right hand. You're gonna put one finger in between each of your toes. Takes a little bit of time sometimes. And I know it may seem funny, but it's really important in our relationship with our feet. You know, we have a whole body, and our little feet are the only things that keep us standing, really. So it's really important to take care of them, to develop a relationship and build that over time. Because the feet are the furthest thing away from the body, so away from the brain. So it takes continuous revisiting to get them to get on the same page. You can close your eyes here. You can circle your foot around if you would like, rolling out the ankle. Change direction, circle around the other way. Breathing here for 3. Breathing for 2. One more round of breath. Bring your foot back to a neutral place. You can open your eyes if they were closed and take your fingers out from between your toes. All right, you're going to lower that left foot down. And we've got some core strengthening going on here. So I like to bring my hands to the hips, or you can bring them onto the sides of the chair. Either one, you can't go wrong. There's no rules, you choose. So hands on the hips if you would like. You're going to lift your left knee, extend it out in front of you, and pause. Bend your left knee and lower it down. All right, so now with that being the motion in mind, you're pulling your lower belly muscles in, sitting tall. Remembering to breathe, hands on the hips. Inhale, lift your knee, extend the left foot, bend the knee, lower it down. Good. Inhale, lift, extend, bend, and down. Inhale, lift, extend, bend, and down. Inhale, lift, extend, bend, and down. Got one more on this side. Lift, extend, bend, and down. Good job, y'all. It's a burner for me. All right, now we've got pigeon on the other side. So this time you're going to take your right ankle and cross it over that left knee, create the figure four shape, and imagining that there's that fishing weight pulling the right knee down. All right, sitting up tall, you can bring your hands onto your hips or wherever is comfortable for you. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, fold forward. So my range of motion on my right side is, for now, different. Just got to pour a lot of love into it, but it is much, much tighter than the other side. And you might notice something like that too. One side might feel so easy and breezy, and the other side might feel not that way. And that's completely normal and okay. We've all got natural imbalances or misalignments in the different sides of our body. And the process of yoga is to come into alignment. That's what all these poses are doing, energetically and physically. So, whatever agenda you may have, don't worry about it, because this addresses it all. Staying in touch with that oceanic sound in the back of your throat. Keep returning to your breath over and over. It doesn't matter how many times. It's like letting go of the tension in the muscles. You keep letting go over and over. It doesn't matter how many times. And it just takes this kind inner dialogue, always speaking kindly to yourself from the inside, especially because you're the only one that can hear it. And imagine if others could hear the inner dialogue. You can think about that. So practice speaking kindly to yourself on the inside, because it does matter. Deep breaths here, just a few more rounds of breath. Let each exhale allow more softness into the body. Breathing for 2. On your next breath, come back up to neutral pose, or neutral spine. Take your left hand this time. I'm going to take my right hand and drag my foot a little bit closer. And then take your left hand and put one finger in between each of your toes. You know, this is something that you can do sitting in front of the TV at home. You can do it before you go to bed. You can do it laying in bed, even if you can get to this figure 4 shape. So there are many, many ways that we can make our self-care more accessible. And the breath is a good reminder of that too, because your breath is a tool that you take with you everywhere. How often are you breathing without realizing? And I ask myself the same thing too. So you can carry that out with you into the world. Maybe you'll circle your foot around here. Deep breaths. You can swirl your foot around in the other direction. You can bring your foot back to a neutral place. Remove the fingers from in between the toes and lower your right foot down. We've got that core strengthening on the other leg. So hands come to the hips, right leg it is. Pull the lower belly muscles in, sit up tall. Inhale, lift your right leg, extend your foot, bend your knee, lower it down. That's the move. Inhale, lift it, extend, bend, lower. Again, inhale, lift, extend, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, lower it down. We've got 2 more on this side. Inhale, lift, extend, bend, and lower it down. All right, last one on this side, y'all. Inhale, lift it, extend, bend, and lower it down. Good job. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider. We've got a forward fold seated here. You can fold forward from here and then lower your hands down to walk them down your legs. You can also walk your hands down to the ground if you can reach, but knowing it's not about how deep you go. So don't force yourself into it if your body's not ready, because again, that'll make your body retract and pull in and tense. And what we want is the opposite of that. We want softness, space in the body. Breathing deeply for 3. Breathing deeply for 2. Slowly, slowly bring your hands to walk back up your legs, hands to the knees, straighten your arms. You can heel toe the feet together. Nice. Take a breath in, sweep your arms out wide and up high. Grow really tall like a noodle. Interlace the hands overhead, roll the palms open to the sky. Create that back bend. It's just slight micro movements, nothing over exaggerated. Take a breath in where you are. On the exhale, come back to neutral, hands lower down. All right, you're gonna bring your arms out wide. Thumbs are pointing up to the sky. You're gonna point your thumbs forward or spin them forward and then spin your thumbs back. That's the move. Roll the thumbs forward and then roll the thumbs back. This helps with the range of motion in the shoulder joint, which is the most mobile joint in the entire body. So important to take care of these small little parts of us that keep us together. Spin it forward and roll the thumbs back. Bring your thumbs back up to neutral so that they're pointing up to the sky. Reach out. As you exhale, wrap the arms around you like a hug. Right arm on top, and then crawl your fingers back so that they find the shoulder blades. It's called the scapula. Let the shoulders soften down away from the ears as you exhale. You can close your eyes. And just feel your breath happening underneath the hands. Feel your lungs expanding, and visualize your ribs pulling apart as you breathe laterally, left and right. So pull your lower belly muscles in and imagine that as you breathe. Everything shrinks and hugs into the center as you exhale, those abdominal muscles. Got the option here to wrap the arms up into eagle arms. So extend your arms out in front of you, and they're in this X shape. You're spinning the thumbs in towards the center and then wrapping the arms up to find that eagle variation. So you might be able to grab onto the forearm, you might be able to grab onto your thumb. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you can reach. Pull your lower belly muscles in. Inhale. Lift your eagle arms up. And as you exhale, curl the spine. Inhale, extend everything up. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Got two more. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, back up to neutral. Unwind the arms. Lower the hands down so that the hands are on the thighs. We're just going to do some shoulder rolls. So you're going to shrug your shoulders up by the ears and then roll them back and down, and then perpetuate that movement. So inhale, shrug them up, roll them back and down. Shrug them up, roll them back and down. Shrug them up, roll them back and down. And then switch directions, roll them forward. And continuing that forward circling. Breaking up some of that tension that lives unintentionally in the shoulders and neck area. All right, take one more circle around. Beautiful. Take a breath in, sweep your arms out and up. On the exhale, arms come out wide, stretching really long like a plane. As you exhale, wrap the arms around you. This time the left arm is on top. Nice. Crawl your fingertips back so you can feel the shoulder blades behind you. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel the breath happening underneath your hands. The rise and fall of the upper body. Shoulders sink down away from your ears if they're crunching up. Option here to wrap the arms up to eagle arms. So again, arms extend out in front of you. They're in an X shape with the left arm on top. And then you're spinning your thumbs into the center and then joining the arms together. Pull your lower belly muscles in and inhale, lengthen up. Lift your gaze. As you exhale, curl the spine, tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. Got one more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, curl. Inhale up to neutral. Unwind the arms. Lower the hands down. All right. Take a breath in through your nose. As you exhale, sigh out of your mouth. You can go ahead and scoot yourself back onto your chair and come back into that comfortable position that we started in. Kind of slouching a little bit. You're sinking down so that your neck and head are supported by the back of the chair. You can extend your feet out in front of you. You can let your arms dangle by your sides with your eyes closed. Listening to that oceanic sound of your breath. Allowing yourself to be fully involved in this moment where no one is asking anything of you and you can just be. Soften all the muscles in your face, the space between your eyebrows. Let your eyes rest behind your closed eyelids. Soften the muscles in your cheeks and let the tongue slide down from the roof of your mouth. Even soften the muscles in your throat. And let that softness ripple on and on through all the lower parts of the body as well. Shavasana. With as busy as the world is, it can be hard to sit still. But it takes practice. You can envision your mind like a blank canvas. You can fill it with whatever you may like. Because you can get a lot done here with your eyes closed. Or you can allow yourself to be in this moment with your breath, with your body. And bring some small wiggles to your fingers and toes. Slowly walk your feet in to bend your knees and come up to a neutral position. You can have your feet flat on the ground, sitting tall. Take a breath in and sweep your arms out wide and up high. Exhale, pull your hands down over your heart. Pausing here, breathing in moments of gratitude. Thanking yourself for finding your way here today, because you deserve time for yourself. It is an honor to share this practice with you. And as I end each class with the word namaste, I will tell you what it means. It means that there's a place within each and every one of us where the whole universe dwells. It is a place of peace and truth, of love and of light. And when you're in this place in you, and I'm in this place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being here this week. I deeply, deeply appreciate spending this time with you. And of course, I wish I was there with you in person, but I am very thankful for all of the glorious things that we can do with technology these days. I hope to see you again next week, and there will be another video for you. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.